Welcome to Time with Tammy. Um, Today I'm going to talk about relationships and marriages. It's kind of been on my heart lately, but while I'm doing it, I got this painting and it's just kind of white and green. I'm going to add some peach and gold and hang it up in here. I think it'd be really pretty. I'm not a painter, so this is just for fun. Um, anyway, I just want to start out by saying that I've been married quite a few times. If I told you, you probably wouldn't believe me how many times. Although, if you know me, you probably would think, gosh, Jamie, I thought you'd been married more times than that. Because I was so stubborn and hard headed. But anyway, I've been married 6 times. And I never gave up on love. I truly believed that God made us for relationships and to be in loving relationships. And I know that every man that I almost married or did marry loved me and I loved them, but we were wounded. I have my own wounds, they have their own wounds. And unfortunately, what happens is your wounds clash, and then it just, unless you get healed, it that's why a lot of relationships and marriages end, because we're all wounded. I doubt anybody will get through this life without being wounded. Even if you had the perfect parents, maybe a teacher said something that wounded you, or an old boyfriend, or an old girlfriend. Um, but there's hurt people out there, and they're going to hurt people. And unfortunately, we get hurt by other people because they're so hurt and wounded. And tell you a little bit about my background. I was a big tomboy. My So my dad, for entertainment, we didn't play games around the table. Um, we wrestled. So my dad would get on all fours, and then my two brothers and I would try to take him down. And gosh, for as early as I can remember, so probably started around when I was 8. And by the time I was 12, we moved to this neighborhood, and all the boys heard I could wrestle. I was a good wrestler, so they would want to wrestle me. And then even boys from different neighborhoods started coming around wanting to wrestle me. So I'd wrestle them. Although I think this one guy was just another girl. She was wearing guys' underwear, but anyway, I think it was a girl. Uh, Not positive, but she was tough. I think it was a truce. We both were bleeding, and then nobody won. We just gave up. Anyway, so I was a huge tomboy. I was tough. I had two brothers, and a dad that took me hunting, fishing. Gosh, I could shoot a gun by the age of probably 9 or 10. He'd take me out deer hunting. So I was not an easy woman to get along with. I got along great with guys. Give me a motorcycle, a fast horse. Um, we, I, Most of my friends were guys because I was like a guy. I grew up. My dad raised me like another son. So anyway, I I just finished this song, and it's kind of about me, and it's called Mustang Spirit, because I told God that I was like a wild Mustang that nobody could tame but him. And he did. Took a lot of years though. I was not going to just give up. Um, I was a fighter. And so if a guy didn't like that I was so independent, he would try to control me, and um, it didn't work. You can't force somebody to be something you want them to be. You can't control them, especially if you were like you had my personality. So anyway, I ended up, most of the men that I was attracted to were very controlling. They had a part of them that they had their lives kind of under control, and they liked fast cars and fast motorcycles and fast horses and all the things that I liked. But I think that they feared that they couldn't hang on to me. And so then that very fear, they would react and do things that caused them to lose me. And again, if I can go back to the wild Mustang, you cannot take a wild Mustang and try to beat him into submission, try to break him or his spirit. He will bite you, kick you, buck you off. They're fighters. They're wild Mustangs. But with a gentle hand and a soft touch and through love and patience, you can get that horse to submit to you, and he will be the best horse you ever had. So anyway, I never, because we're all wounded, none of the men in my life knew how to do that. They didn't know that that's what I needed. Instead, they would try to control and force me to do this or do that, and then I'm a fighter, so there's no way you weren't going to win. And so ended up in divorce. Um, and again, it took God to come along, and when I ran or I fought, he just pursued me, and he just loved me through it, loved me, forgave me, showed me grace, showed me mercy, had patience. And God, I say he tamed me, but he took that wild spirit in me and just brought out the best. And also, one thing that I did is I did not know how wounded I was. My mom talked me into going to this class called Healing the Wounded Heart. And so I went, and they brought out so many deep, deep wounds to the surface. And then I had to deal with them, forgive people that hurt me, and forgive myself. And anyway, through that class, I received a lot of healing. It was the best thing I ever did. I was talking to the people that put it on, and I told them to please do it. Keep doing it. I'd love for other people I know to go to this class. It's a 6-week course, and I did it for the 6 weeks, and I got so much healing that I did it for 6 times, 6 weeks, and still, I'm work in progress. I still got some, wounds that I'm still dealing with. But anyway, the main thing that I wanted to talk about is a lot of people I've met, like after the first or second divorce, they're just done. They're just like, it hurt too much. I lost too much. I'm done. And I just want to say, don't give up on love. Don't. Don't give up on marriage. It's a wonderful thing if you find the right person. Um, and you just have to be patient with one another. And like what I started doing is, because I know that I'm wounded and I'm going to react in a certain way or say something that's, not Christ-like, I would catch myself immediately and say, Tammy, why did you say that? Or why did you do that? And have to dig that wound up myself and deal with it, and yeah, so it's a process. I don't think we'll ever be 100% complete health, no wounds, no pain, no sorrow while we're living in this world and walking on this earth. But we can at least do our best by, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like not maybe self-analyzing, but doing some self-reflection and working on healing yourself, if you just don't have the time to go to counseling, or go to the healing of the wounded heart like I did, just think about the things that you say and do and ask yourself why. And then ask God too. If you're not sure, pray about it. But one thing I do know is forgiveness. That was huge for me. I had no idea I was holding unforgiveness towards people. And when I started, just, even if I didn't think that I had unforgiveness towards them, I started thinking about everybody that ever hurt me, and just prayed through and just forgave them, and then forgave myself. That was the tough one. I am so hard on myself, and I can forgive you the moment you do something to me. But forgiving myself was a tough one. But I'm still working on it. I'm doing better. Anyway, don't give up on love. It's it's amazing when you have the right person, and then when you find the right person, you guys work together, because we all have blinders, and so we need to help each other. Like I always tell my husband, if I say or do anything that's not Christ-like, call me out. I don't want to say or do anything that's not Christ-like, and so we help each other, and it's great. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next episode.